Starting right off in the match, Bloodseeker being the top player for the Dire. I think the Radiant had Arc Warden. I see one salve on the Bloodseeker, nothing else. Tango's on the Dazzle. Rubik, nothing yet. Bottom lane Magnus is going to be having his Fire Fairy, one salve, and 6 Tangos. A lot of regen for that bottom lane. Looks like Tangos are going to be given to the Husker. Husker does have a Fire Fairy and 3 Tangos, 2 Gauntlets in order to give himself some extra health in the early laning stage. A little bit of nothing on the Arc Warden, just 2 Tangos, classic Fire Fairy on him, and the 3 Tangos stack that he bought himself. Pudge headdress. It's a new meta for the off lane. I don't know if he's going to build it into a mech or something like that. He could possibly build it into a mech. Bristleback giving a little bit of early harass onto the Dazzle, trying to force him away from that bounty rune. They want to be able to secure this bounty rune. It looks like they have more of a late game team on the Radiant side, I believe. Yeah, that's Radiant side. On the Dire side, it looks like they're going to have a mid to early game pushing team. Well, a mid to early game team that's going to be able to do a lot of damage within the mid to early game. Not pushing wise. The only push they have on their team would be like Rubik's Fade Bolt with the Bloodseeker Bloodright. Charge up the hill for Magnus to collect that second bounty rune. 3 bounty runes going to the Dire, 1 to the Radiant. A little bit of extra Tangos on the Rubik. Doesn't look like he's going to be doing too much trading. He doesn't have a Ring of Basilisk or anything like that to be doing spell spam. He also did get his lift first. Not a lot of harass onto the Husker. He's not really able to do too much to the Husker due to those flame arrows and the flame spears. Pudge able to walk right up on the lane. A little harass from Dazzle. Not too much coming out from the Dazzle. He does have his Q. Ooh, and Pudge is going to hook a creep. Not too much happening in the top lane besides a little bit of trading. It should be a hard lane for the Bloodseeker, but it doesn't look like Dazzle's going to be harassing. Mid lane, Husker's going to have that Flux on him with a bit of Spirits, I believe. Spark Wraiths. Level 222 for the Radiant side. Quadruple 2s. Sentry coming out from the Rubik. Maybe trying to look for a observer on that corner. Spectral Dagger coming out. Nothing much coming from that. But First Blood is going to be drawn top onto the Bristleback. What Bristleback was doing top in order to die. But looks like the salve's going to come out from the Bloodseeker. He still has his slippers. Dazzle just got something. Dazzle has more tangos and a wand. Heal, doing a lot of damage onto the Pudge. Bristleback overextending a little bit onto the side. Rubik down bottom. Does stop the farming of that side camp. I think a pull may have happened. But Husker is going to be winning his mid currently, I believe in the last hits game too. Yes, 9-5. Bot denies. Bloodseeker farming the side camp. Pudge now getting vision onto the Bloodseeker. He doesn't have enough mana for hook, nor is it off cooldown. But they do have that backline vision right there for a TP or anything around that area. Mid ward getting spotted out by the Arc Warden. And he's going to place a observer to replace it. Wraith coming out, going on to the Husker, doing small bits of damage. Not too much happening bot, not too much threatening presence. Looks like they are missing the Rubik at bottom. Courier's going to go down. He's going to be able to spot that with the ward that was in the back line. And Pudge is still going to die to the Poison Touch from Dazzle. Dazzle's Poison Touch is normally used to force people out of the lane because it's such a good harassing ability to get at level 1, especially whenever you level it up at level 2. You can easily dive, but not really on a Bristleback unless you have, let's say, a Wand and maybe a Bracer. But you're going to see Poison Touch come out onto the Bristleback. A little bit of harass. He doesn't have it stacked onto him no more. Dazzle's going to be in a bad position, using up his wand, being in the trees, taking 2 more quills due to the threshold being reached. Mid's taking a little bit of flack. He lost his ward there on the Radiant side. Pinging for a denial onto the creep, which is going to fail. Actually, no, it's going to succeed. I'm thinking of the wrong people on the wrong team, but Spectre getting caught out a little bit, taking a little bit of damage for being inside of that creep wave that they didn't have the numbers on. You never want to push into a creep wave that the enemy has the creep advantage in, especially if you have no creeps backing you. I don't believe Lion is stacked yet. Top hasn't stacked yet. It's just been a farming game mostly, even though that top lane is going to overextend a bit under the Radiant top tower. Pudge is going to get spotted out. Bloodright coming out, hitting him. Bloodseeker not able to do enough damage. No Poison Touch coming out due to it being on cooldown. 5-minute runes are going to come up. Rubik's already going to secure one of the runes, and he is going to spot the Invis rune, take it, and looks like he's just going to go right back down bottom. No, he's going to turn around. Pinging the mid laner. Husker doesn't have the health to do this, I believe. Yeah, he has no regen currently, but he's gonna get thrown back. Rubik Fadebolt coming out, Spark coming out from the Arc Warden. Nothing coming from it besides a death due to the burning arrows. Bloodseeker looked like he did rotate mid during that situation, losing out on some farm, but it's all fine. I think they were able to secure all 4 runes. They were able to secure all 4 runes. 5 minutes. Net worth is going to be leading on the Dire side. Don't really see this Bloodseeker making too many provocative moves towards the enemy team, but Dazzle's gonna get picked out by the Hook of Pudge. Bloodright coming out, Bristleback getting in a good position, kind of setting himself up to get a kill here. He's going to dive under the tower. I believe they will be able to get this kill with minimal damage. Bloodright is going to hit on Bristleback, not do too much damage, and Bristleback is going to get away with that kill and a few more last hits. Bottom, not looking too good for the Spectre. Spectre looks like she's standing behind the creep wave, but she does have 2k net worth right now, which is pretty good for a 2k player at this point. I believe this is the 2k bracket. Charge out from Magnus, escaping the ensuing death, but Rubik is going to come behind the mid tower, pick him up, throw him back, leap from the Husker into a whole bunch of burning spears. But, ooh, Husker is going to go down. I thought he was going to walk into the Spark Wraith and die, but no, he just falls. Life Break is the elite ability. Bloodright coming out from the Bloodseeker in the top lane, likely trying to get a little bit of damage on that Pudge because he's not able to do too much to that Bristleback at this point, unless they maybe Poison Touch him, get him into a Bloodright. Ooh, are they going to do that now? Yes, into the Bloodright. Poison Touch is going to stick on him. Bloodseeker's going to get hooked back, but the kill is going to be secured by the Dazzle. Spectre ult's going to come out. That's a early Spectre ult coming out. Pretty good levels on him. Level 6 already. Level 4 on Lion. Looks like he has a pretty good support. He's keeping up with the mid laners farm, though, which is really good. 3k on Spectre at 8 minutes. Will we see 3.5k by 10? Not 3.5, but maybe closer to the 4Ks. Skewer bringing him back, but not doing enough to actually get the kill on the Spectre. Spectre's going to throw out his Spectral Dagger and run away. He's able to go through trees with that. Let's see the last hit game. I mean, no, let's see the level game. See level 8 on the Husker, who did have a good mid. He was able to get a few ganks with that Rubik. But you don't see too much pulling in the lane by the Radiant nor Dire side. I don't believe they stacked or pulled once. But Husker's going to be farming that side camp, securing a baited Baroche for his team. And a Keen Optic. A little bit of action coming back down mid. Well, you have Flux thrown out with a Spark Wraith. Spark Wraith turning into another, but nothing coming out of that. But he is going to put his Lucian out there, taking tower hits, going to the ball. More Spark Wraiths, another ball coming out from the real one this time. And they're going to continue to go on to this Husker. No TPs coming around for the Husker. And he's going to be able to escape the situation with the Arc Warden. Arc Warden's going to get turned around on with the Burning Spears and die. What a great play by the Husker. Husker could have easily got killed there if there was a rotation from a friendly, such as the Lion. They would have set up properly. But there was no TPs for the Husker. I don't believe he even called out for a TP to happen from his team, and he was still able to secure that. Little bit of action on the bounty runes. A hook from Pudge down at bottom onto the Magnus. Magnus not going to receive too much from that. And a rotation from the Dazzle. Ooh, looks like we're going to have 3 bot. Maybe they're going to set up for a little something. Spell Steal, he's going to be able to get the Mana Steal, but Pudge is going to hook the Rubik right under the tower into that little sneaky spot. Magnus is, I don't know what that's called. His Shockwave is going to be able to pull him back a little bit, but his reverse polarity isn't going to do anything there. He missed the reverse polarity. Spectre ult turns into Spectre TPing in onto the Rubik. Rubik dying. And a finger coming out from Lion onto the Dazzle. Dazzle dies to the finger, giving Lion 1 finger stack, giving them a little bit more ability to farm, creating space for that Bristleback to attack the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker does have a wand. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a wand. Unable to farm. I mean, he is able to farm, but he's unable to really do anything against this Bristleback in the lane. I'm guessing they rotated trying to push the Bristleback away, but TPN from Dazzle. Dazzle's trying to get Poison Touch off here, slow him down a little bit, get the, ooh, Rupture coming out from the Bloodseeker. Spell Steal coming out from the Rubik. No TPs, 1 TP, looks like that's maybe Arc Ward. No, Pudge. Pudge getting his Dismember off. I don't know why. I was thinking it was called Butchery. Dismember comes off, but Bloodseeker is going to be able to escape off into the forest and get himself a little bit of the farm. Still no stacks coming out for either side of the Radiant nor Dire. Little action happened down there mid, but nothing's going to come out of it besides a kill on the Arc Warden. Gold advantage is 3k for the Dire side, Well, very, very low current gold on the Bristleback, but Bristleback is going to be leading at position 4 in gold. Coming out, Armlet coming on to the Husker. A little bit of action from Bristleback coming mid. Looks like we're gonna have 4 people mid. Pudge Hook coming out, missing. Stun from the Lion into a Flux and a sapping from the Lion. Turnaround from the Husker. Husker getting dismembered. Rubik going down. Looks like Husker's gonna have enough regen in order to gain a little bit of health back, plus that heal from the Dazzle. Dazzle's not gonna be able to do too much here for him. Heal's still coming out, but he's going to go down due to the flux into the Spark Wraith. A lot of damage from the Spark Wraith. A lot of pushing from the top lane by Bloodseeker, maybe trying to gain his team a little bit of a advantage in the gold field. I mean, not gold field, but vision field. Spectre getting a lot of last hits now. Maybe she might be able to get an 18, 17-minute Radiance if she continues down this path. Bloodseeker farming jungle camps as always. No stacks coming out from either team. Dazzle using shovel and digging up a creep smoke coming out from the Radiant into Royal Jelly. That would be good for the supports. Shockwave coming out, but nothing coming from it. Dazzle casting off Poison Touch after the Rubik grabbing onto the Lion. Pudge getting a hook off onto Dazzle. Dazzle forcefully having to get Shallow Grave onto himself. But he's going to be able to escape from the Pudge after that Dismember. It's a close death, but Arc Warden's going to fall again. Well played coming out from the Rubik. Likely trying to boost his team's morale because you know we have a lot of low morale players here in the 2K bracket. A little bit of tower diving, backwards diving onto the creep wave. Maybe he's trying to force a push here by his creeps. Maybe he's just trying to get farm. Who knows? But mid tower is going to go down on the Radiant side from Husker. Little to no interaction with mid there from the Radiant side. But Dazzle's going to get spotted out. A whole bunch of nasal goos getting casted onto him with a few quills. Rupture coming out. Spectral Dagger coming out too. But it doesn't look like much is going to happen for this Bristleback besides a 5-man rotation, which creates space for the bottom and the mid lane to farm. And that takes Bristleback off the map for 23 seconds, which means a lot of free farm for the top lane Bloodseeker. Little action coming down on the mid. Flux coming out onto the Rubik, into Bubble. Bubble's not going to be able to do too much here for the Arc Warden. Arc Warden is going to fall. Ooh, rotation by the Lion and by the Spectre. Lion's going to finger off. Spectre's going to auto-attack him one time, and he's going to go down. And they're going to continue to go on to this Dazzle. Dazzle does have Shallow Grave, unable to cast it off. Death on Dazzle, death on the Husker and the Rubik. Rubik overextended a little bit, but this may turn into a no. Looks like they're all going to split off, maybe go solo farm or something, but Bristleback up top doing a little bit of damage onto the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker will be able to TP out, yes, but it did take him a little bit. He TP'd to that tower, the outpost. Levels, you're going to see 14 on the Husker, 13 on the Spectre, which was very good for that bottom lane. Bottom lane did do pretty good in the phase, and he's getting closer and closer to that Radiance. Looks like we're going to see maybe an 18-minute Radiance. And it looks like they're going to set up a little something here on the Husker. Husker's going to get nasal good 2 times. A few quills coming out. Nothing from the Pudge, missing his hook, and they're just going to back up, cast a smoke off, and a wasted smoke because they were able to see. I think they had vision on them already, like enough vision on them to break the smoke. But Pudge is going to get spotted out. Dismember coming out, Goo coming out a few times. Ooh, but nothing coming out from it. And Pudge is going to die. Nothing for the Bristleback there to do. They just got caught out of position. 3 top. 3 top, Dazzle, Husker, and Bloodseeker. Dazzle doing a few heals. No rotations from his team. Ooh, no TP on the Arc Warden. And top tower is going to fall. Looks like there's going to be a pause by Spectre. And an unpause by Radiant, maybe? No, by Dire. Disrespectful. Pinging onto Magnus. Magnus getting hexed by the Lion into a spike. Mana Steel, blink away, nothing coming out of that for the Radiant side. Still, a 5k lead on the Dire side. They had a good early game on the top lane and the mid. Bottom lane didn't do too much to prevent the Spectre from farming. Spectre was able to get a level advantage, but there is going to be a smoke mid. But Spectre was able to get a level advantage in the lane, level 6, I believe it 7 to 6 minutes. Rotations onto the Bristleback. Bristleback not able to do too much here, just going down. He was caught out, he was soloed. They did have wards. There was nothing for the Radiant team on that side of the map. Early roshing by the Husker. Looks like he's gonna have the healer there to back him up. Rubik's going to be inside of the pit. Don't know why Rubik's inside of the pit, just doing a few right clicks. Ping coming out by one of the members of the Dire. Thinking that a ward may be there. Or maybe it was a ward from, a ping from the Radiant to the Dire to place a ward there. TP's down to the bottom lane. Looks like they're going on to this Pudge. There was a skewer by the... Ooh, dive onto the Spectre. Spectre's getting low. Dismember coming out by Pudge. Nothing coming out from Pudge besides a hook and a Dismember. Nothing could have went good for them there. The Lion wasn't in position. Spectre can't really do too much in the early game like this unless she has Radiance, which means she may be able to give them a mischance, I believe. Ooh. Yeah, 17% mischance. Not much going to be able to come out from that Radiance. But Flux into Spirits. Nothing for the Radiant to do here. Looks like the Bloodseeker's going to get caught out. Fluxed and Ball coming out from the illusion of Arc Warden. Arc Warden is going to cast another Flux. Flux isn't going to go off. Spark Wraith isn't going to go off. He's going to get dived from the backline by Husker. Husker not able to do too much here. He's getting hooked. Will he get dismembered? No dismember, but Shallow Grave coming out. Little team fight in the back. Bloodseeker dying to the Bristleback. Bristleback having the Rupture casted onto him. Unable to get out of Bloodreich. Meanwhile, the Husker's going to get soloed. Husker's going after the Lion. Lion spiking. Death on the two backliners. Two of the supports went onto the Spectre. Spectre's going to go down. Meanwhile, a dive onto the Lion by the Husker. Husker still has the Aegis. Diving now onto the creep wave. But Lion would fall in the Ancient Camp to the Burning Spears. I think he was trying to deny himself. Levels looking at like 22 for the Husker, taking that stacked camp now, but 22 for the Husker, 17 for the Spectre, 14 for the Bloodseeker, 13 tie up on the Bristleback and Arc Warden. Net worth is going to be 11k on the Husker, 9 on the Bloodseeker, so top two are going to be Dire players. Radiant is only going to have Spectre at 8k, which is pretty good for the situation that they're in right now on the Spectre. I believe Spectre does have the Radiance now, yes, but a little bit of harassment down the mid lane. Arc Warden's going to be on that top perch. Maybe he's trying to be able to spot that Husker, but Husker doesn't look to be, isn't acting too stupid and walking directly up. It seems like this Husker knows what he's doing. That Spectral Dagger is going to catch Husker, so Vision's going to be granted. Dive by the Husker onto the Pudge. Pudge is going to be unable to do anything about this as he backs up. Dismember was already used. Spectre TPing around a lot, doing, is he scripting or is he just using normal? But another dive onto Pudge. Pudge getting a hook off, unable to kill. Wraith coming out, and an illusion coming, the Devil by the Arc Warden. Arc Warden getting reverse polarity and just messed up by Shockwave. Looks like the illusion is going to go down too. Bristleback getting backlined by the Bloodseeker. Bristleback didn't turn around. That's where he gets his armor from, being on the an attack from the sides and the back itself. But it's not looking good for the Radiant team. 22 minutes in, they have a heavy gold advantage of 13k, but we've seen in this bracket that people throw it away. They have full map control at this point, besides wards. I mean, map control as in they have the towers, they have more ability to farm the jungle than the Radiant themselves. But the gold can only take this team so far. Like, once the Radiant get BKBs, Bloodseeker will be less of a prominent problem with his Bloodreich. Bloodreich is a silence. I believe reverse polarity, it goes through it, but Shockwave doesn't, and Skewer doesn't go through the BKB. Rubik's ult does go through BKB, I believe, too. Yeah, Rubik's ult does go through the BKB, but the spells that he steals might not be able to go through BKB. But they do have that healer in the backline that they're going to have to target, aka the Dazzle, because Dazzle can provide a really big buff for this Husker. Because if Husker's low and Dazzle's able to get it off when Husker's just low enough, it's going to be madness, chaos for the Radiant team. Spark Wraith coming out. Looks like a little bit of defense by this Arc Warden. Arc Warden casting another Spark, going onto the creep wave. Rubik getting Spark Wraith, while Husker pushes the bottom tower, bottom T3. TP coming out from Bristleback. Pudge throwing out the net into the hook, which stuns himself. Bloodright coming out. Finger onto Dazzle's Shallow Grave. Dive by the Husker onto the Pudge. Pudge going down. Nothing coming out by the Radiant team. The Radiant team's not looking too good right here. Only one player down on the Dire side. Looks like Bristleback's going to go down due to being in the Bloodreich, while Ruptured. Reverse Polarity coming out into the ball of the Arc Warden. Arc Warden's ball not able to do too much. Exactly what I said about the Shallow Grave. The Shallow Grave did provide him enough boost to get a little bit more damage there, but they're going to have a lot of buybacks coming back, just increasing that net worth for the Dire team. Net coming out, getting onto the Magnus. Magnus going down. They're going to chase down this Bloodseeker, but I don't know if they have enough speed to catch on to him. No, they do not, but there is going to be a TP mid by the Rubik, attempting to get a little bit of farm. 15, 12, 11. Top two players are going to be on the Dire side. One on the Radiant side, followed by Magnus in the 4th spot. What could they build here to prevent so much magical damage that the Radiant has? Well, they could build things such as Pipe. For the supports could easily build something like Glimmer Cape, Raindrops. I don't know, but the Bristleback's going to dive on to the Rubik. Rubik attempting to force staff himself down, but he fails. Dazzle's getting turned around on now. Maybe Dazzle's going to go down here, but a TP's coming in. I wonder who's TPing in. Dazzle Shallow Graving himself, still getting dived out. Poison Touch coming out by the Dazzle. Nothing happening for the Radiant side here besides a diving Bristleback. Radiant rotating the Arc Warden, but there's going to be no stun to get him stuck in the Bloodreich. I mean, Bristleback did have a really good spot there, but once they started rotating, he wasn't going to be able to do too much else. That's why he probably TP'd out. But the illusion of Arc Warden going to fall 240 for the Bloodseeker. Arc Warden, not too much farm at all. 7k at 27. I mean, his farm was just completely destroyed. And he's a split pusher, so maybe late game we'll see a lot of split pushing. Maybe the split push will win them the game. But we have to make it there. Rubik, or Staff, Philosopher's Stone, trying to get that extra GPM. Titan Shard, Titan Silver coming out.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
What could the Radiant really do in this situation to come back from this deficit? They could easily just try to lock down the jungle, get a few stacks off, get their man some gold. But Spectre's going to get caught out by the Bloodseeker. Radiant's doing a lot of damage. BKB. Spectre just casting off the ult. Looks like it's more a defensive ult. Not trying to kill anyone here. But they're going to be able to spot all the Dire players in their jungle. Warding up coming from the Lion. That sentry wasn't taken out quick enough, so it's going to be able to spot the Observer that they placed. Rubik warding up the Dire jungle. Looks like they're setting up for a pretty good fight here. If Lion stands out of position, he could easily get himself screwed over here by the lift and or the leap by the Husker. Poison Touch coming out. Ooh, Poison Touch still stacked onto the Bristleback. Nothing coming out from Husker. Husker in the back line looking like he wants to try to do something, but they're going to back up. Spectral Dagger coming out onto the Dazzle. Dazzle's getting locked down right now. Dazzle, nothing coming out from Dazzle. Dazzle's ult is going to be, the Shallow Grave's going to be gone. Disruptor, not Disruptor, sorry. Husker's going to be diving in the back line. Nothing coming out from that due to, besides one kill onto the Lion. Husker diving again. He doesn't have a lot of regen besides his own regen. Dazzle's not going to be able to protect him here. Spark, Flux, and nothing coming out besides a whole bunch of auto attacks by the Radiant side, taking down the Husker, giving them a lot of gold. 456. Spectre climbing the leaderboards again. Bloodseeker has his Radiance level 19. Let's check the levels. Hero levels, you're going to see 26, 22, 20, 19, 18. Husker leading the level charts as always. Looks like he's going to be the key player. Because normally when he dies off, the Dire team back up, and rightfully so, because they did lose their Dazzle, which offers the protection for the Husker to be able to do all that damage. Plus their reverse polarity, if they're able to get that off, they're able to just lock them down and allow Husker to reheal himself, come right back into the fight. Depending on how they really play it out, because if Dazzle's not around, the reverse polarity as a buffer won't really work out.
Dire is scanning for enemies.
Dire scanning into the Roche Pit. Roche Pit is going to be a key objective here. Spectre gets the Roche Pit. It could be okay, but it would be better on Arc Warden. Magnus, and not really good with the Aegis here. Husker, very good with the Aegis here, because they could just fully deck out on one run with the Husker, such as diving and casting Shallow Grave and kind of backing up, getting a little bit of a heal, kind of buffering out that Shallow Grave, and then coming right back into a fight. So they could engage, disengage, come right back into an engage due to the Shallow Grave coming right back up, I believe. Well, let's see. Yeah, Shallow Grave's only 11 seconds, so they could go in, back out, go back in, which would be very good. And a disconnect by the Pudge on the Radiant side. See how long it's going to take. But I'm guessing that's how the Radiant team, Dire team wants to play this. They want to go in, back out, because they have the team for the disengage, re-engage. They have the Rupture. They have the reverse polarity. They have the leap by Husker. They have Rubik, which allows telekinesis lift. And they have Dazzle Shallow Grave, which gives them the reason to go in, back out, go in, back out. Meanwhile, Radiant, they have tanky and more dispositioning heroes, such as the Pudge. The Pudge can bring you back. Flux really slows you down. Nasal Goo really slows you down. The stun from the Lion really puts you down, plus his Hex, because the Hex slows you down a little bit, plus his mana drain, which is going to be able to take out the mana of, let's say, Dazzle, or someone who's going to be out of position that needs the mana, like Rubik, Dazzle, maybe even Bloodseeker, but definitely on the Magnus. Unpausing coming from the Dire side by the Husker. The Chusker. Chinese Husker. Items are... what could they really build here to make it look better? They might want something like Shiva's Guard. They do want an Aether Lens on the Dazzle so he can stay in the back line more. Because the only thing that's going to stop him from being in the back line would be the Spectre ult. Or Pudge himself hooking. Rubik, all he really can steal is Flux, the Wraith, Lion ult, Lion Hex, Lion Stun. He has a lot to steal here.
Heads up,
But
we're back.
I'm just really trying to think in the perspective of the both teams here. I'm guessing they're going to try to continue to lock down the Dazzle because the Dazzle is a big problem. So Glimmer Cape would be good on him. Uh, Even something like Aether Lens, but he needs Resist, so Aeon Disc too. Magnus, all he needs is his Blink, really. His Blink, maybe a Shiva's Guard to add a little bit of damage in there. Moonshard gives him a little bit of attack speed. Vlads? Oh, Vlads. Going to be able to take the Roche while the Pudge is down. Maybe Pudge is coming back. Maybe he's not. Who knows? Lion coming in. They're initiating on these people after Roche, which isn't too smart. It looks like the illusion's pretty much going to go down from the Devil from Arc Warden's going to go down. But reverse polarity is going to pop off. It's going to fail. Ult's going to come out onto the Bristleback. Bristleback, he has his team behind him, but the Arc Warden's going to continue to get dived out by the Dire. Dire takes down the Arc Warden. Didn't look like they have to do too much there. They just had to dive the Arc Warden. Bloodseeker's going to go down due to the Bristleback Quills. Husker's getting soloed out. BKB coming out from the Husker onto the Lion, killing out the Lion. Guess what? No more stuns for you. Turning around onto Bristleback. Not too much of a good idea. He's going to stack Quills onto the Magnus. Magnus, nothing for Magnus. Pudge coming in by one of their own teammates. They used Pudge to go in there. I think they used Dismember, and then they hooked, so no more Dismember. But Hook is good. Hook is good in a few more minutes, I believe. Like, 4-3, no, nothing. Husker's going to be able to turn around onto the Pudge, kill the Pudge. During that fight, it seems like Arc Warden really got soloed out. They didn't heavily go after the Dazzle there, but they were able to pick up a kill on the Dazzle. Magnus got killed in the aftermath of all of it, but they were able to kill very key players for the Radiant side. But Spectre got away, farming in the bottom. Let's check the net worth. Ooh, classic heart build by the Spectre. Likely trying to outlast the situation with Husker. Because once you knock down the Husker, their team's nothing but paper. Unless Bloodseeker does something or Reverse Polarity comes out. And then you start getting whacked and, you get whacked and, cleaved by the Magnus. By his Empower. Because his Empower does a lot of damage. I think it provides lifesteal, too. No. That's just Vlad's mask. Rubik. They have the wards in the jungle. They are able to spot him. Husker. Ooh, lifesteal coming out. I mean, not lifesteal, but spell steal coming out by the Rubik. Lifting up. Bloodright coming out. And the Arc Warden getting shut down again. Nothing coming out from the Arc Warden besides, I think he popped off his illusion, which gave them more gold. 14k lead for the Dire. A little bit of farming up top from the Spectre. I believe we should see a Vlad's here because the Vlad's would be very good for the Bloodseeker and the Magnus if it really comes down to it, because Husker is a diver. He might die in a situation like this if Dazzle isn't around or Dazzle gets soloed away from the team, because they really do want to try to lock down that Dazzle because he provides the ability for Husker to get off a lot of damage when he's low. It's either that or you have to Lion Finger him before that that Shallow Grave comes out. And another pause by the Radiant team. 33 minutes in, 59 seconds. I don't believe there's too much time left either. Ooh, we still have plenty of time. We're only 33 in. Got another 38? No, 39. We got another 39. Which means Pudge could be coming back. But what I'm really hoping to see is a turnaround. Because they do have this later game team. Spectre is really good late game. They just need more lockdown. They need to wait for these BKBs to pop off, turn around, reinitiate, lock down. If they can stop the back in and out of the Husker and Dazzle, like just lock down Dazzle, it's over. Lock down Husker, get the kill on Husker before Dazzle can cast it off, it's good. But they need to watch out for that reverse polarity. But Rupture coming out onto the Bristleback. Bristleback getting lifted up, caught in the Bloodreich. Nothing coming out of this for him besides Force Staff. Backed up. Spectre. I don't even know where Spectre went. I think he blinked back. Yeah, but Lion is going to go down. Dive, dive, dive from the Dire team. Diving into the upper hill of the Radiant team. Ooh, Bristleback unable to do anything, getting killed by the Husker. I don't even know what really happened there. I just seen a whole bunch of diving. I seen a little bit of action from Spectre. But Pudge is still going to be gone. Mid tower is going to fall. Bristleback just casting his nasal goo out of position. Sentry's not going to be able to spot that Magnus. Dives by the Radiant team, split off, breaking into Blade Mail. Blade Mail going against the Husker, getting soloed out, turning around onto the Magnus by the Bristleback. Bristleback cheese eaten by the Magnus. Still Quills coming out from the Bristleback. Heal onto Magnus by the Bristleback. I mean, by the Dazzle. Dazzle's getting caught out, but he runs up the hill. Dazzle runs up the hill. Meanwhile, Magnus is still getting chased down. Spark Wraith chasing him. Ooh, Skewer getting him closer to that tower. Dazzle's TPing. Shallow Grave, Guardian Greaves, and it looks like he's going to be able to TP out. Safe, Rubik throwing the Bristleback away. Pudge obsessed with an abandon. Maybe low priority after this, who knows. But sad to see that the Pudge is gone, but that just means more gold for the Radiant team. More gold, more XP, more just less team fight ability without that Dismember, which could easily lock down the Husker. The illusion of Arc Warden going into the trees. I think Bloodright gave them the ability to see that real Arc Warden, but he's going to be able to TP out. A little bit of farming from the Spectre. Spectre is building his heart still. Husker has his Lotus Orb, has his Satanic, which allows him to gain some health, which means it looks like he's trying to go for a full dive build. Dive in, stay in. Not dive back, dive back. Dazzle building the Aether, not the Aether Lens. Oh, yeah, Aether Lens, sorry. I was thinking of the Ghost Scepter. Courier coming in, giving Dazzle some smokes. Dive onto the Bristleback. Lion is in the area, unable to do anything due to that Lotus Orb because his spells would just come right back onto him. Bubble coming out from the Arc Warden double and a Spark Wraith. Dazzle looks like he overextended a little bit, but he was able to make up for it with that Force Staff, getting back. Arc Warden's a double, dying off. And Dazzle throwing down some sentries. I think he thought there was a ward there due to how that Arc Warden was doing what he was doing with his double. But Guardian Greaves coming out, giving them a bit of a heal. Husker backlining as always, trying to get a little bit of vision. Maybe he's gonna side push. Maybe he's gonna push down mid. Solo on mid with the Husker. Husker getting rotating. Ult onto the Bristleback. Rupture. Missed Bloodreich. What do they do here? Should they back up? I wonder if they're talking about it. No, it doesn't look like they're going to back up. Husker's still good. Dazzle's a little bit out of position. He's in the back line attacking. Oh, no, he's stuck on the Purge. But Magnus getting caught out by the Spectre. Spectre, if Magnus goes by himself, he could get soloed out by the Spectre. But Spectre blinking into that Bloodright, getting silenced, but he's going to split off with Manta. I think that was Manta. Yeah, Manta disabling the silence. Husker getting soloed out, casting BKB, turns around onto the Arc Warden Illusion. Why is he on the Arc Warden Illusion? This, Heaven's Halliburting the Illusion, then diving onto the Lion. Lion, no more lockdown for you. Turning around onto the, Reverse Polarity, but Dazzle's gonna be down. Bristleback's gonna be up, the tank is gonna be up, but a whole bunch of Flaming Spears coming out. He's attacking him in his back, so he's gonna be able to get Quill Stacks off, but the Lotus Orb coming out, nothing coming from the Lotus Orb, but the Bristleback's gonna go down, turning around onto the Spectre. Spectre is going to be able to get the kill onto the Husker. Husker's dead. Not good for you, Husker. Not good for you. Losing time to farm, losing pushability, gaining more items. Butterfly for the Spectre coming in about maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4. I don't know. Yeah, 2 minutes. Pudge being played by probably Lion. But they do have the Pudge. They're macroing the Pudge. Trying their hardest. Trying their hardest. Haste coming out by the Magnus backing up. Ward did spot the Pudge. Not a lot of warding from the Radiant side. Just pretty defensive wards. Spectre's gonna split this top. Get himself a bit of farm. Wonder what the Spectre bought. I think he bought the rest of his heart, but maybe 4 minutes. Not 4 minutes, but maybe 5 minutes on his... 7 to 5 minutes on his... Ooh. Abyssal Blade is a pretty good item. They can easily lock down the Husker with that. But neutral items are going to be dropping. Tier 4, they're going to get the Ninja Gear, the Leveler, and the... I don't believe I know what that other item is. But looks like I accidentally clicked out, so we're going to have to go right back in. What a depressing situation. This is where they first paused for the... I believe we already seen this. But I believe this is the situation where they, you know what, we're just going to bring it back to 34 and we're just going to go from there. Let's fight bottom. Here comes the diving that we seen prior. Sorry about the little delay here. I'm just trying to find the place where we were at. Okay, so this is right before Heart, so I think Spectre had Heart at 8. Back it up a little bit, and then we're good. Oh no, this is the situation with the Arc Warden. But I guess we're close to the situation that we were priorly at with the man rotating back due to the Pudge being spotted on the Observer. Yes, it is. And this is where Spectre believes he needs to swap to his Abyssal Blade. TPM by the Rubik. Walking around in the upper jungle. Doesn't have any wards. Fade bolts the Creep Wave. Fade bolt does reduce damage. It's like the double stack. Attempted double stack. But he's going to fail. But Leveler's going to get spotted out, and Ninja Gear's going to get spotted out. Plus, one more item was there, too. And I did. Ninja Gear. Okay, so it looks like it was just Leveler and Ninja Gear. Roast Pit getting pinged, spotted by the Radiant. Magnus popping up. Looks like he's trying to give a little bit of vision. But he's going to use that Shadow Blade of his and move back ward on the upper part of the Radiant top lane coming out. That ward's gonna spot a little bit of that Roshan AoE coming out. But they do get the Aegis and the cheese. I think Rubik grabbed the cheese. No, he grabbed the refresher, which would go good on the Magnus, and he hands it over to the Magnus. A little bit of action from the Magnus. Magnus going back and grabbing the region rune. Okay, farming in the jungle. 21k net worth. Alt rupture onto the Spectre. Spectre backing up. Nothing. They don't want nothing to do with that. They have Arc Warden. Arc Warden's just trying to sit in the back line. They bring the Pudge out. Looks like they're macroing. It's the Arc Warden playing the Pudge. Who knows what's going to happen? A little bit of macro never hurts. Lion. Sentry. Another Sentry. Lion. Sentry Ward King. Putting his wand back into his inventory. Top push. Bristleback getting drawn out, but nothing coming out for the Bristleback. They are going to get a grab onto the Husker, I believe. No, that's the Magnus. Magnus getting bursted down by the Finger. Finger was in Ags mode, so Ags is going to be able to do a little bit of damage. Husker getting stuck inside the ball. Husker eating the cheese. Still nothing coming out from the Husker. Getting locked down. Nothing. Husker, what are you doing? You're diving behind your team. Dazzle is dead. Turn around by the Lion. Lion getting Finger back at 22, but it's not going to have to happen because they're going to slow down the Husker. Husker getting slowed by Flux into the Spirit Wraith. Spirit Wraith going on to the Husker. Husker backing up still. Bloodseeker trying to make a little bit of room for him, but nothing's coming out of it. It's just going to be a dead Husker. No! They're going to turn around onto the Bloodseeker. Husker turning back in. Lion Finger ready in 3, but they're going to turn around onto the Husker. Beam down the Husker. Nothing coming out for him, but Lion Finger's going to be back. That's one more stack if they're able to lock down the Husker. But no, he casts it too quick. No Lion Finger stack coming for that. Husker turning around, using his burning arrows to attack the Bristleback and the Spectre, both unable to get a kill. What a beautiful macro by the Radiant team onto the Magnus. That's very interesting what happened there with the Pudge. I'm surprised they had the dexterity to do something like that. But a little bit of pushing action from the Arc Warden.
Dyer's doing that Chloe thing. Nothing to do with that.
Spectral Dagger coming out.
Cowards in trouble.
Whole bunch of wraiths coming out. A little bit of action down the mid still. Flux. Ooh, Abyssal Blade onto the Dazzle. Dazzle lockdown, but he's going to be able to back up. Those Spider Legs coming out too. Not enough damage onto the Dazzle to take him out. That could have been a very good play for the Radiant side. But it looks like Radiant's trying to set up for a little situation here where they may be able to get a person down on the Dire side. Bristleback diving onto Magnus. Magnus going invisible. Bristleback still in the back line, taking tower damage while they push the mid with the defense on it. Defense is going to come down now that the creep wave's near. Bristleback caught up in the back line, hit by Bloodright, hit by the Rupture. Spike coming out. Disruptor ult coming out onto the enemy team. Magnus is going to go down again. Buyback from the Magnus. Ooh, a lockdown by the Spectre. Spectre's going on to the Husker. Husker, I don't know what's happening here, but the Bristleback's getting soloed out. Reverse polarity coming out from the Magnus. Magnus does have it again if he eats that, oh, he did. He already ate it last time, but it's going to be a turnaround by the Dire team. Spectre lockdown. Rubik getting the shallow grave casted onto him. Not much backup, but they do have buybacks. They wasted the enemy team's buybacks. I believe that was a buyback on the Magnus. But that was something. That's pretty good for the Radiant team. And that duplicate not being able to get to the creep wave to cut it. Bit of mid pushing. Looks like they're trying to push mid without really any true ability to hold themselves if they lose this, because if they die here, it could easily be game turned around, because Bristleback's coming out. No ult on the Bloodseeker yet, but he hasn't casted it. Dive onto the Dazzle. They're trying to target the Dazzle. Dazzle unable to do anything. Locked down. Casting Shallow Grave onto himself. Husker's back in the base. Dazzle stuck by himself. Gets out. Escapes. Nothing. Backline by the Magnus onto the tower. Spectre's coming in with the, I think that's... What is that? Yolner. Yeah. Okay. I had to think about that. I didn't want to call it the non-upgraded version. I don't know what the non-upgraded version is called. But the Magnus is going to get dived. He's going to get Abyssal Blade knocked down by the Lion Finger. No more Magnus buyback. No more. Storm. Maelstrom. Okay. Taking objectives. Looks like they are waiting for that Roche to come back, but it's just like they got a little bit more time. Invis coming out from the Arc Warden. Magnus down. It's a 5v4. Situation could be bad for the Radiant side. I mean, the Dire side. Pudge up in the front line. Macro Pudge. They're diving onto the Dazzle again. Finger coming out. Nothing coming from the Finger. All coming out by the Spectre. Spectre ult not doing too much, and it's going to go down. But Husker's going to get grabbed up. Nothing turning around onto the Husker. Shallow Grave coming out. Lockdown. Nothing coming onto this Spectre. Spectre's not getting locked down. Bristleback's the one getting targeted. Hooked back by the Pudge. Nothing coming out from it, but looks like Spectre's doing... I don't know what Spectre's doing, but Spectre's holding it down. Turn around onto the Arc Warden. Invis Arc Warden going down. Lockdown by... I mean, one proc by the Abyssal, but it's not going to lock him down long enough. Spectre getting locked down by the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker's Bloodright isn't going to be able to stay onto him, but he is going to crit him with the... What did he hit him with? What did he... Oh, passive break. He broke the passive. 2 buybacks back on the Radiant. Spectre's going to be down. Pudge will be up. Pudge came back. It's not even micro no more. Pudge came back even though he abandoned. Looks like he's an honorable player. 13k net worth lead for the Radiant team. I mean, Dire team. Radiant, they are getting towards that late game timing, but it's maybe over. Maybe over. Buyback by the Arc Warden. Lion Finger coming out onto the Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker unable to do anything. Getting locked down is the Bristleback. Bristleback Bloodreich into Rupture. Rupture's not doing too much damage onto the Bristleback. Bristleback is still in the front line, trying to force them back. They only have 1 rack left. Will they be able to hold off this rack and or push up and end this game? Turn around onto the Husker. Husker getting forced back, but Husker's going to turn around, go right on in. Who's he going against? He's going on to the Lion. Lion getting soloed out, but he's not going to be able to spot Lion. Lion fingering, taking damage from his own finger, turning around onto the barracks. They're going to be able to take down that barracks. Looks like Bristleback did go down. They took down the barracks. That means this match may be over. Spectre, nothing coming out for Spectre. Diving onto the tower, onto the tower, onto the tower, but it's saved by the bubble. No damage onto this tower. Spectre quit the game. Why did Spectre quit? But, ooh, finger coming out from Lion. Turn around, grab onto the Husker. I don't know what's happening here, but it looks like they're really holding this off. Spectre, 14 seconds left. Still, bubble onto the tower. 9 seconds on Spectre. Will they be able to take down this tower before it ends? No, they won't. It's match over. Dire victory. The bubble was a good idea. Spectre left, knew it was over. They were in their late game timing, but they just didn't hold it down properly. And this is an Archon game. Rubik, 13 deaths. 12 on the Dazzle. 15 on the Pudge that was macroed most of the time. 14 on the mid carry. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for the casting.